you guys, another home brewing video. We're going to go small batch. I'm going to make a smaller batch of beer, something around 10 litres. The reason is my very first one, before the Lucky Dog IPA, didn't carbonate, and I have 30 bottles of it. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into the distiller and do a stripping run, and I'll use it for something else, don't worry about that. The Lucky Goat IPA has been bottled. I've tasted one, and it was a little bitter in the end for me, too bitter for me. But it does look like it's clearing nicely, and it is carbonating nicely, and it is a typical IPA, I guess. So we're going to try a 10 litre batch, a smaller batch. I'm just going to start off by looking at what we need. All right. So obviously you need your fermenter, you need your airlock, we need our cleaning gear. So we need our cleaning solution. We need our sanitizer. This is a Mangrove Jack's product. It's Total San. Let's have a look at the ingredients. I have here a Williams Orange English Brown Ale. So it's a hopped liquid extract. It's a small kit designed specifically for a 10 litre batch. We have a bag of light malt extract, and we have Safe Ale S4 yeast. Now, that's what comes in the kit, okay? We're going to enhance this a little bit, or try and enhance it, just for the sake of using all grain ingredients and trying to move in that direction, okay? So, sticking with the English bitter theme, I've got Gladfield Light Crystal, 200 grams. It's a small amount, and I've got a little grain mill here that I picked up on Amazon, which is fantastic for small batch and little amounts. So the other thing we need is we need a grain bag. I'm going to use that in the pot. We need a hop bag because I'm going to put some hops in there. We need our temperature controller. We need our spoon. What else do we need? Oh, hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I just had to nip to the fridge because this is our East Kent Golding. I've got 50 grams. I'll probably use about 40 grams. We're going to dry hop them. So when everything's in the fermenter and bubbling away, I'm going to let it sit until it's nearly finished, and then I'm going to stick it in for about 3 days on a dry hop basis. What else do we need? I've got my spray of Star San solution. So, you know, you're using a spoon. You know your spoon's clean, but maybe it's been sitting around. Give it a bit of a flick, just a bit of a shake, and that's pretty much good to go because that's a sanitizer and it's contact sanitizer. Right, I think we've got all the ingredients. Let's make some beer. Now you can see that's done quite a nice job, flaked it up quite well, broke it up quite fine. Yep, I'm happy with it. And on to the next stage. Alright guys, so I've got about just under half a gallon, 2.5 litres of water. It's up to 65.5. I'm going to let it get about 66. It's on the boil or heating up fairly rapidly. That's 65.6. There's 66. So I'm going to kill the heat. Right. And what we're going to do, I've put my grains in a little. It's actually a little hop bag because we're so small, you know, at the moment. But I'm going to biff those in here. Give them a good old dunking. There we go. And I can just let them go in like that. I cover that up. I'm going to take it off the heat just in case it gets any warmer. I don't really want it any warmer. And we are going to leave that for 45 minutes or so. So we'll see you in approximately 45 minutes. Alright, so that's 45 odd minutes. You can steep these anything from 30 minutes to an hour, it's up to you really, but you know, we've got the best of it. It's looking good. I've lost a couple of degrees. I checked about halfway, about after 30 minutes, 25 minutes, I'd lost about 3.5, 4 degrees, so it just turned up a little bit, and you know, was able to bring it back up to about 66, and it's been sitting around 64, 63, which is pretty much all good. Now, yeah, should we sparge? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a little bit of a sparge. I'll just get some water out of the fridge. Let's see what we've got. Yep. Okay, so we've got some fridge water, and all we're going to do here really is rinse the grains. It's a cold water sparge, so I'm reducing the temperature. I've done what I need to with the temperature, and now we're actually going to be bringing the temperature down, so that's just going to help get the remaining amount. I don't want to squeeze it too hard, but we are done with that. Great stuff. Now, next I need my spoon. I don't set that there, set that there. Got my spoon. I have my can of English brown ale, and this is an 800 gram tin, so it's pretty handy for this, exactly right actually for this size batch. Woohoo! Smells absolutely awesome. Okay, that's been sanitized. Let's just get all this goo out. Pretty much call it goo because that's what it is, just goo. And here we go. Get all that in there. One of these scrapers is excellent. It just helps you to get everything out. Being a small batch, we don't want to leave anything. We don't want to leave anything behind. It is sticky stuff. Brilliant. Okay, we're nearly there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now you do need to give that a really good stir because it takes a second to melt. Remember, the water's still hot. I mean, I put a little bit of cold in there, but it's still going to be 50, 55, something like that. I'm just getting this goo off this paddle effectively. That's it. So we'll keep going. Smells fantastic actually. Alright, now the next thing we do, I've sterilized my scissors. We are going to put the light dry malt extract in. This is a 645 gram bag, again specifically designed. Now you need to be careful with this stuff because it is sticky as batshit. I don't know how sticky batshit is, but I'm pretty sure it's sticky. No real smell of this. And I don't want to get it on the spoon either, so I'm just going to dump it in pretty much. Alright. It will dissolve, but it will take a little while. There we go, get all of it. And this is all going to clump up into balls and all sorts of crap, but it is good stuff. There we go. Just get rid of that. Okay, now I'll maybe cut the video there, and I will just stir that for about 3 minutes, and you'll see that all dissolve. Give me a sec. It's actually looking pretty good now. That was about 2.5 minutes I had to stir that. If you just keep going, you know, it clumps, and then it gets into little balls, and then you just keep going, it gets smaller, and eventually it disappears. So that is all melted. It's looking good. It's smelling really, really good. Now I'm going to transfer this into the fermenter. The fermenter has been cleaned and sanitized with Star San, and everything's ready to go. So give me a second, I'll just swap the camera over to position. Okay, ready to put that in here. Final stir. I should be very careful with this because it's hot liquid. It's not boiling, but it's pretty damn hot, right? So let's see if we can do this nice and carefully. Yum. Nice. Now let's see, we need to bring this to around about 11 liters, which is about there. All right. Cool water, cold water, because it is hot. Someone said to me about doing a small batch in a 30-liter fermenter. One of the issues would be the oxygen. So I'm filling to about, you know, here. So there's all this oxygen, and somebody said, you know, that's going to be a problem. Well, it's not really, and the reason it's not is because once the yeast gets going, it's going to provide plenty of CO2. Let me get this in here. And the CO2 is going to form a blanket. There'll be a little oxygen at the top, but it's not touching the beer, so we're good. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about, I guess, is when I do the dry hop. Because I'm going to be opening it, and, you know, there might be some CO2 escape. I don't know. I think it should be okay, but I suppose I should have a smaller fermenter for this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're somewhere around there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. What I'm going to do is just take a gravity reading at the start, see how this is. If I can get the thing to go, here we go. Now, where have we got this? Ah, I've got the wrong one in. Oh. Okay, leave it with me for 1 second. I'll go and get the right hydrometer. Alright, so we're back. The temperature in here now is around about 21, which is good. I'll keep it around 20. I'm just reading on the yeast packet. Safe Ale SO4, it says. Ideal between 15 and 20, but good to 12 to 25. Alright, so that's pretty good. I have taken a reading, and I'm very, very close to 1050 on that little reading, which is pretty good. I think it's going to give me around 4.9%, something like that. I'll bring it down to as close to 1 as I can. Little sample. It's sweet and malty. Sweet and malty, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that comes out. Now, last thing to do is give this a real vigorous stir. Oxygen's okay right now. Get a bit of foam going, nice foamy head. And this is a full packet of yeast. I'm just going to sprinkle the lot in. Just over the top of the foam. And that's going to do its magic. Get the lid on. You get that lid on nice and tight. And my airlock. I don't have any water in the airlock. Good. Okay, it is unbalanced. Good. That's it, guys. I'm going to let that ferment for approximately 3 days. 3 days or so. We'll see how that goes. Maybe 4 days, maybe 5 days. I'll take a reading. If the readings come down to nearly done, I don't want to dry hop while things are still bubbling. Okay. I'll wait until it's just about finished fermenting, and then I'm going to dry hop the East Kent Golding for 3 days. I'll come back and we'll do that on video. And yeah, I'm quite excited about this one. Should be a good one. I think that's it for now. We'll see you soon. Cheers. So this is the next day. Just thought I'd show. Started off. It's getting a bit of traction, so all good. Okay, so it's been a few days. This has happened really quickly, actually. This is down to 10, 12, 10, 13. I expect it to go to about 10:08, somewhere around there, I think. So it's pretty much finished fermentation, or very close to finishing fermentation. So I'm gonna put my hops in. I've got my East Kent Goldings. See if you can see that. Okay, I have got a little hop bag here. It's just a muslin bag. I've boiled it for a few minutes just to make sure it's completely sanitized. And I've got my star sands. I'm just going to give my scissors a bit of a hit. And let's open up this bag of hops. They're vacuum packed for freshness. East Kent Goldings. Oh wow. Potent. Alright, so let's get the bag. And let's pop them in here. I'm just going to use them all because I'm only going to put them in here for a couple of days, I reckon. I'm just going to tie the end. I don't want it to be too much, you know, so better to say it's the first time I've done this, so let's start off nice and easy. Remember that there's a blanket of CO2 in here, so the oxygen is not really getting at the beer, so I'm not going to muck around with it too much. I'm going to open it up. I'm literally going to plunk that in the middle, and I'm going to let nature take its course, okay? It's got a couple of points to go by way of fermentation, so we'll put the lid back on. I'll put the airlock back on, and in 3 days, I think we're good to bottle. So come back then and we'll do that job. Cheers, guys. Alright guys, so I've taken the bag out. I just star sand a fork, hooked it out yesterday. It was after what, 2.5 days I left it in there. I didn't want, you know, it's quite a lot of hops, so I didn't want it to influence, apart from some aroma, I didn't want it to influence the beer that much. Everything's sterilized, the bottles are sterilized. These are Good George 946 milliliter bottles, which are really, really good. So we're ready to go with these. First, before we get into it, here's the Lucky Goat Pale Ale, brewed on the 8th of the 9th, so it's about 3 weeks, 4.5%. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Well, not a lot of head, but it is carbonized. I can see it's quite a lot of bubbles. It's quite clear. It's not crystal clear. Oh. And, oh, that is not bad at all. There's like a light sort of grapefruit off the back end, so like a bitterness and a bitterness in the mouthfeel. So yes, indeed. All right, now we're just going to do this. So we'll get the priming. Give me 1 sec on that, and we'll go again. Okay, so for the priming, I've actually got some Mangrove Jack's carbonation drops, and I'm going to use 2 in this bottle. It's 946 milliliters. So a couple of drops. There we go, 1, 2, and let's fill it up. The thing about making small batch also is, if you don't like the beer, you've only made yourself, 10 liters. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you've got 30 something bottles. I've got 9 of these little bottles, and that should do the batch, because I'll lose a liter at the bottom, no doubt. And I'm just waiting till this fills right to the very top, and then I'm going to release. Here it comes, and boom. All right, stick the cap on nice and tight. That's it, job done. Do 9 of these, finish it off, stick a little label on the bottle to identify the beer and the date, of course, and Bob's your uncle. So that's them bottled. I've got 946 milliliter bottles. That's what I've taken from this batch. Simple little label from Labelizer. Just print them off, stick them on your bottle. It tells you what you've got. So hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, make sure you subscribe, and yeah, we'll make some more beer. Probably a small batch, but we'll go all grain next time. Cheers.